Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. In the last episode we landed here on Norian, and we discovered that the planetary defense system is down, and we were tasked with bringing the generators back online to repulse the pirate assault. So, starting off this episode, we have a few lore entries here. These are Galactic Federation entries on the 3 hunters that we met previously in that command briefing. So this is Hunter Gore. Subject is a veteran of the Liberation War of Wotan 7. Only 6% of subject's birth body remains, the rest is state-of-the-art cyberware. Despite his career and heavy cybernetic modifications, subject is known for his high level of empathy and compassion. Gore is rather gentle and approaches situations logically, but is not the most skilled of fighters. Intel suggests he even has a sense of humor. Subject has often championed the weak, poor, and downtrodden, working for free or giving bounty money earned to the victims of his targets. Subject can merge his cybernetic, I don't know why I said body into larger mechanisms, including gunships and fighter craft. This merging will alter Gore's personality, and he will become incredibly aggressive and violent. Data indicates a high proficiency with computer infiltration and manipulation, high level of mechanical empathy with artificial intelligence. So this one is on Rundus. Okay, I apparently didn't go into the logbook entry. You can also see here current objectives and the ones that you've completed. So that's a nice handy thing to look at if you're trying to remember what all you need to do. Plus, if you click on them, it'll give you a little bit more information. So let's go into lore and go back to the actual logbook entry. Hunter Rundus. Subject is a native of Phrygius, a moon of planet Best 3 known primarily for ice mining. The Phrygian ability to manipulate and generate ice has come in handy in the subject's career as a bounty hunter. Intel suggests that he enjoys hunting to the point where he keeps trophies from all of the targets he's successfully captured or killed in his career. Subject is proud, cocky, and arrogant, and considers himself without rival in his field. So, design-wise, I would say, out of the 3 hunters, that Rundus is my favorite. I think, his design is cool. His ability to manipulate ice is also really cool. Personality-wise, I'd probably have to give it to Gandreda, which we haven't really interacted with her much aside from, her imitating us. But here's a little bit more information on her. So subject homeworld unknown, possesses metamorphic abilities similar to the biomorphs of Jovia 12. Can assume the form and abilities of most living things, including bioforms considerably larger than the subject. Scans are unable to determine subject's age, but Psych Eval suggests a high degree of youthfulness. Intel suggests that bounty hunting is akin to a sport for her, one she enjoys considerably. Subject perceives the veteran hunter Samus Aran as her chief rival, a rival she intends to surpass as soon as possible. So that's a nice, little bit of information on some of the hunters that we've met. Gives you some insight into their personalities and their abilities as well. So we've got some debris here in the way. You just use a missile to clear it out. You have to be wary in these hallways because there will be some proximity mines that... Oh, there they are. So I tripped off one of them by getting a little too close. So this is a jump mine. Anti-personnel unit rises in air and explodes once engaged. The jump mine was developed by the space pirates as a cheap alternative to an armed trooper. The jump mine scans its surroundings until it detects an enemy target. then triggers a small thruster jumping a set distance in the air. Once launched, its weapon pod is engaged, saturating the local area with fire. It explodes afterwards to prevent any use by enemy forces. So what you'll want to do is just shoot these before you get too close, and you can avoid getting damaged. Just one shot will do them in. So we're going to have our first major fight here on Norian. So the door gets locked. And we've got some space pirates. Now these space pirates will be employing a new tactic. So, additionally, I think the two on the far left and the far right are pirate militia, but these are pirate troopers, so make sure that you pick up this scan. Battle ready and vicious, crudely enhanced by Phazon. The space pirate military forces continue to use Phazon, including a new Phazon enhancement system. Basic armament includes an assault rifle and energy scythe, both powered by Phazon. EMP grenades are often employed against power-armored foes. A new dash jet system provides increased mobility. So, let's start off by taking out the militia here on the left and right. And these guys can use a shield. So we'll see if one of them actually wants to use it or not. There are going to be some reinforcements coming in here. You can scan this particular vehicle. This won't be the only opportunity that you can, but it's the first time that you can scan this. This is a Space Pirate ATC, well-armored transport. Forward vent is vulnerable. The Space Pirate Armored Tactical Carrier ATC is surprisingly well built and armored. A forward-mounted heat vent is its only vulnerable spot. Tri-beam cannons help the unit deal out damage while on missions. Designed for rapid transit to and from hot zones, the unit is not designed for long-term engagements. It has a relatively small fuel supply, a sacrifice made for heavier armament and armor. So let's take out this last guy. And yeah, see, these guys are the ones that will use the shields. So again, they're a different scan from the regular pirate troopers or the regular pirate militia. So this is a shield pirate militia. Battle shield deflects attacks, but can be pulled off with the grapple beam. Now, should be specific here, they can be pulled off with the grapple lasso, because we don't have the grapple beam yet. Some members of the pirate militia have been granted use of regular army trooper equipment. This unit has been given the portable battle shield. Its portability is its weakness, however. Remove it from the pirate's grip to eliminate its primary defense system. The shield is also susceptible to phase-on-based attacks. So when one has it out, just use a grapple lasso on it and that will pull it away. Of course, that will get rid of it for good, and that particular pirate will not be able to use the shield again after that. We also have another new type of enemy here. They're just throwing all the new pirates at us. These are pirate aero troopers. So, as always, get the scan. Going for logbook completion. Jetpack provides aerial mobility. Homing attacks recommended. So it's a bit harder to hit these guys with charge shots. So missiles are generally a good idea since they do home in on enemies. Aero troopers are dangerous foes, but their lack of armor leaves them vulnerable to explosive blasts. A weakness also lies in the jetpack. Igniting it will allow the pack to be separated from the pilot. They use twin remote attack pods to engage targets. The attack pods are capable of using a particle cannon or a helix missile pod. They can tap their phase-on power unit to warp from point to point. So, the best strategy to do with these guys, if you want to use charge shots, just make sure you try to lead your shots a little if they're moving. After you damage them, they will kind of do that attack where they dodge out of the way, so that does break your lock-on when they do that. So this is our first time that we actually have to deal with an ATC. So no pirates are going to jump out of this one, so you just have to shoot it. Of course, the cannon will shoot at you, but it's pretty easy to dodge as long as you strafe. Also, a few, uncharged parasites just take out those pirates in cutscenes, but it takes a little bit more than that to down them in-game. Particularly if you're playing on hyper mode. This cutscene is still obviously the same between the different difficulties, so it's even more of a discrepancy there.
These pirates are more fragile than they appear. I just received word that the Federation is allowing all bounty hunters to use ship command devices. You should now be able to remotely command your ship and land it here. Don't forget to perform suit maintenance and data backup if you need. Generator A is just through those doors. While you head that way, I'll activate the generator on the west side. Between the two of us, this should be a breeze.
So, that is Rundus. As cocky as his scan entry made him out to be. So we have been granted use of the Command Visor. So when we scanned our ship, we got a little bit of a hint about being able to use this. And this is the reason why the Prime 3 ship is probably my favorite of all Samus's gunships, because you can actually do some cool stuff with it. It moves around. It doesn't just stay in one place like it does, in pretty much all of the other games. You can fly it around, so you have a portable save point pretty much anywhere you go. In addition to, the energy recharging abilities, and, replenishing your ammo as well. We will be able to do some more things with our ship later on, but I'll get into what those are once we actually get around to getting them. So, definitely not a bad idea to save since you have the opportunity here. We did lose a little bit of health in that fight there, so we're able to get some of that back. So inside this room we have some more crawl tanks. But other than that, there aren't any scans in here. So this is the first time that we encounter one of these blast shield doors that we have to shoot things in order. So this one only has 3. There can be a total of 5 that you have to hit in a given order. If you don't shoot them fast enough, it will revert to older dots in the sequence. So you do have to be kind of quick with shooting those doors and activating them so that you can pull them off. So right as we got into the generator here, however, the space pirates set up a nasty bit of explosives and prevented us from activating it effectively. Now, the generator is not completely destroyed, which is a good thing, because otherwise we'd be totally screwed, but it's going to require a little bit more effort to get it back online. So, before we get to that, however, we have another fight here. So these are Jolly Roger drones. They are designed for quick aerial maneuvers, but this comes at the cost of survivability. The fragile armor of the unit is vulnerable to weapon fire of any type. The Jolly Roger is based on Federation tech, but has been considerably upgraded. Powered by Phazon, the mechanoid can be a serious threat in battle, especially in groups. So this kind of mirrors the Hive mecha fight from Prime 1 in terms of having a bunch of enemies that move around really quickly. Your best bet is going to be waiting for them to kind of stop in place. Or you can also kill them before they start moving, like when they're flying up at you. They will do their main attack pattern is basically kind of stalling in place and then shooting you once, moving to the right or left a little bit, and then shooting again. So if you don't shoot them right away, you can usually hit them the second time that they try to attack you. So there's more debris here. just shoot it with a charge shot or a missile. Both will work. So now that we have done that, we can activate the panel and turn the generator back online. So there's a lot of complicated morph ball tunnels here, but we don't have to deal with them, at least for this generator.
Samus, are you reading me? Something big is happening up here.
So,
What in the name of...
one thing that's actually interesting about times when you get communicates like that is you can't actually scan things while that's happening. It's a bit of an annoyance, which you'll probably see crop up more than once.
Samus is heading right at you. That's why the pirates disabled the defense system. They intend to smash this thing into Norion. Get that cannon back online, or everyone down there is as good as dead.
So, the stakes got just a little bit higher. There's now a meteor heading towards the planet. So that's not fun if that were to crash here. So I'm obviously going to take my time and scan everything in here because I have all the time in the world to spare. That is actually technically true. It's playing, you know, this dramatic music and everything, but at least for right now, you're not on a timer. So you don't have to worry too much about, you know, rushing through. So we'll go back through this room. The game's taking a little bit longer to load because there's a cutscene in here. Surprised they actually missed him that many times when he was standing completely still like that. But some pretty impressive firepower that they've got. So he's also a new type of trooper, so definitely make sure to get the scan because he's not the same as the other troopers that we've seen thus far. This is a... Oop. Let's try that again. This is a Federation PED Marine. Advanced armor suit is equipped with Phazon Enhancement Device. The Federation has created a system that utilizes Phazon to increase the power of armor worn by Galactic Federation Marines. While active, the Phazon unit enhances the attack and defense systems of the armor suit. So that's a pretty nifty piece of technology. Also, I wonder who that could be. So, I'm going to stop by the ship here because there's no reason not to. Energy and ammo fully replenished, plus the game saved. And I think this will actually be a decent place to cut out this episode. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. I've been redxparasite, signing out.